There we go. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on Speed Gaming for another Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Weekly. We've got a good one for you today. We have the wonderful Mighty Caesar going against Bra Incorporated. As always, the wonderful Op82 is here joining us tracking. And unfortunately, we're a little short-staffed in the commentator box, but hey, don't you worry. We're going to have a lot of fun regardless. So with that being said, we are running our odd settings today. For those of you new to our Echoes Weekly, our odd settings include, well, let's see, we got 268 possible starting locations. They could start anywhere from Great Temple all the way to, they could go Sky Temple if they wanted to, which would not be fun. Our translator gates are random with the possibility of some of them being unlocked, which we don't need any translator color to get. Elevators are randomized between regions, excluding Airy and a few in Sky Temple due to logic settings, as that would completely screw up everything if we added Airy. 1 to 3 random starting items, vanilla starting. We do have multiplayer items shuffled today, which includes double damage, unlimited ammo, cannonball, unlimited missiles. Our suits are progressive, but we do have split ammo. But good news is final bosses are removed. So there is a huge possibility light suit could be completely gone. But starting off, we're going with light beam right off the bat. Oh, if I had to take a wild guess, maybe you're going somewhere in Torvis. That would be nice to start. But light beam opens up a good chunk of areas. Watch station if we go for the far side in Sanctuary Fortress High. Oh, but we're going with security station. Alrighty, so we're going straight for Hive Chamber B. Alrighty, let's see what our runners have today. We can't get Hive Chamber B quite yet, as we don't have any bombs or power bombs, so we'll have to remember this area for later. But with Light Beam in hand, it's good to check out what Transport to Aegon has. It's a free item if the translator gate is open. Followed, we could go all the way to GFMC Compound if we find missiles along the way, as unfortunately we do need missiles or screw attack or power bombs to leave Compound. So we do have a few options. Listen, we have Violet blocking the return to Hive Chamber A. That's not bad. We know that Violet can come soon, hopefully. And we're already going to lift the crate. What we're doing here is a slope jump in order to jump on top of the crate on Caesar's side. This allows us to ride the crate and skip lowering the gate for the long walk around. Bra, meanwhile, decided to go straight for Transport to Aegon since it's open. And we get to see what our first item is along with this elevator. So already we have a route difference. Oh, and Bra made the correct choice. We have space jump on Temple Transport Amber. Already not important to us right now, but that could come in handy later. Meanwhile, Caesar's making his way over to Temple Assembly Site. We can see that our TAS elevator is open, and we have screw attack on TAS. Great. We can get that now if Caesar decides to pull off the slope jump. Or if he decides to go back to Aegon Access, we can get our space jump, and Bra's going to pick that up right away. Since thankfully, unlike Prime, we start with our Morph Ball. So let's see where elevator number 2 leads. Temple Assembly Site leads to Temple Transport Emerald. Alrighty, so we're going to head straight up for Great Temple. That should allow us to head straight into the Dark Alpha Splinter fight, and furthermore, into Umos 1. And we can check what's on Transport C access, which is our bombs. Alrighty, that's a very interesting thing to have down there. Meaning we're going to need boost ball or power bombs, or screw attack to get our bombs. Bra, meanwhile, picked up a screw attack since he found a space jump over in Transport to Aegon. This allows Bra to get his Morph Ball bombed, and he's already 2 steps ahead of Caesar. But this is still an early game, everyone. They could go either way. And as already been pointed out, yes, you might see that our suit colors are changed a little from the standard Varia orange. Thanks to patch 6.2, suit colors are now stable. You could have a mixture of the multiplayer suits from, if anyone ever remembers the multiplayer mode of this game. Each player has a different color. We have our standard Varia orange, silver and white, blue with green highlights, or we just go with full underwater green. But let's see what Alpha Splinter has. Oh, it has our Seeker launchers. That gives us a mock missile launcher. Allows us to open up Cache B right next to the Emerald elevator. The one that we came up to get from Temple Assembly Site. But it doesn't look like Albert's going to be much help of us today, though. He's not a troll, but Albert hiding our Seeker launcher, that's not a very nice thing to do. Alrighty, what does Umos have? Oh, Umos appears to have our Dark Visor. Alrighty. So we have no sign of our Violet yet. Means we can't get the Scent End that's out of the way. But have no fear, we will find it sooner or later. Alrighty. So with that being said, we haven't had time for a proper introduction. My name's Marion Law, and I'll be joining you here for the rest of these few hours as we follow our two runners here in this beautiful Echoes Weekly Randomizer. If you have any questions, concerns, or inquiries you'd like to ask our runners come post-race, or any concerns or questions you might have about today's race, feel free to post them in the chat below, and either myself or Up will get to you when we're able. But speaking of which, Transport B access hides our Cannonball. Now, Cannonball, it depends on when you want to pick it up. You really got to think. As Cannonball, Torvus entrance. You really don't want to go there without Dark Beam, as you can't progress through Torvus without Dark Beam. Now, what we can do if Caesar decides to go back, grab a space jump, and a screw attack, we can perform a trick called Air Underwater, which allows us to perform a screw attack and space jump when not normally able to while we're underwater. This allows us to get the item here on Torvus Lagoon without needing Gravity Booster. But we can check and see what's on Poison Bog, which has a missile related, and see that our Torvus Lagoon item is it important? Caesar, go ahead and jump in the water. And it looks like we have a translator or a visor. Oh, we have our Amber translator. That'll be great when we reach Aegon. Oh, we have a question in chat wondering about Cannonball. Well, first and foremost, we'll see what's on Cache B here next to Temple Assembly Site. Oh, doesn't look like Brett's going to go for it. Maybe he'll come back for it. Alrighty, so with that being said, when it comes to Cannonball, it varies based on when you want to use it. A Cannonball, what it does, it's when using a kinetic orb cannon, there's a state that the game puts you in, effectively called Cannonball. And speaking of which, look at that, we got a Dark Beam hiding on Cache B. That's probably not the right room name, but I'm calling it that. Dark Beam and Light Beam, this lets us get through a majority of Torvus, especially with Screw Attack. This pretty much opens up most of Upper Torvus, but we don't have super missiles. That could be a good play to go for. Meanwhile, backtracking to Hive Chamber B would be a good idea. Get that check out of the way, as it's a pain in the butt to get back. Yep, and our missile launcher on command area. But putting that all aside, Cannonball. But when used in a kinetic orb cannon in Echoes, the game puts you in a state of invulnerability. So, you're unable to be damaged. You take no poison damage from Dark Aether. And enemies can't hurt you. And because of that, you're not normally allowed to use that outside of the orb cannon. But by performing specific tricks and movement options, we're able to bypass the kinetic orb cannon's landing site, and we can keep our Cannonball state. Now, what it also does is two things which are very important. Number one, it gives us a mock boost ball, which allows us to clear half tracks in certain areas much easier. And number two, certain enemies and bosses take a ton of hit point damage per second. The biggest example of this would be Chica. The Chica adult, when used on Cannonball, I believe it's 500,000 hit points of damage per second in the Cannonball state, practically instantly killing the adult phase. So Cannonball now, since we have access to Torvus, I would personally leave it as until we know what Chica has or other boost ball locked items. It'd be best to leave it until we know, okay, we need to go to Chica. Let's backtrack, grab Cannonball. Makes everything a lot easier. But since we do have Torvus access right now, it could be a hit or miss. All right, meanwhile, Caesar has backtracked. He found a space jump finally, along with Dark Beam. And thankfully, he's going to hopefully grab a screw attack. Don't forget that it's up there. Alrighty. And Bruh's continuing over to Sentinel's Path, and we're going to figure out what this elevator has in stock. We are going... Oh, that's right. He looked at the map. So he already knows which elevator this leads to. And this leads us all the way to the wonderful side of Torvus Bog, I believe. Yes, it is. We are now in Torvus. Alright, now we can peek underground tunnel, see what translator color that is. Nope, can't get that. That's cobalt. Sorry, we don't have that quite yet. Alright, new record, folks. We're 10 minutes in, and Bruh's already attempted to go out of bounds. Mark that one for the history books. Caesar, in the meanwhile, is backtracking to Great Temple, picking up his Morph Ball bombs, and hopefully, if he does what I think he's going to do, he's going to make a play straight. He's going to continue the loop through Compound, and then, if I had to take a guess, hopefully go through Torvus. Every sign points towards Torvus entrance. But right now, it looks like he's going for Hive Chamber B. He wants to make sure that check is dead. Smart play. Bruh, meanwhile, has gone out of bounds to bypass the secret lock for Temple Transport. Not Temple Transport, Torvus Temple. And thankfully, while we're out of bounds, we can just hide here and poke at the enemies as we want. But we do have to make our shots count, as we can't lock onto the enemies. And it turns out that Hive Chamber B hid something pretty sweet. We got a nice little backpack hiding on Hive Chamber B today that lets us move through underwater areas as normal, while also giving us a third jump and some extra height when underwater. So yeah, definitely head for Torvus Bog. That seems like the right play. Especially if I were them, I'd go straight for Torvus entrance. You have your gravity boost, you have your screw attack. Figure out what's on Hall of Eyes. Path of Roots. Grab Torvus Lagoon. You know that's important for later. And then continue the loop for Great Bridge. Meanwhile, we do have a ball here in Torvus Temple. Is that Boost Ball? Ah, Spider Ball. You had a 50-50 shot on it. Spider Ball's good. That lets us get into Torvus Grove. Although that check is a really pain in the butt to do. And Caesar, meanwhile, is going to check Plane of Dark Worship, realizing it is not important, and we're going to continue along. Meanwhile, Annihilator Beam on Torvus Temple access. 12 minutes in, and Bruh already has all 3 beams and his Dark Visor. This is a pretty jet seed. Wonder what's happening today. What do we have on Path of Roots? An energy tank. Oh, will always take more energy. Alrighty, but as I said, if I had to make a prediction, just go through Forgotten Bridge, make the loop around to Great Bridge, continue into Dark Torvus, and make your way for some more checks. If you can find super missiles, that's great. We can move into Lower Torvus, or we can hopefully find an elevator for another area. But right now, stay in Torvus. And we found that Ing Reliquary has a life support. We know that check is dead, as it cannot logically be any suit. We don't have the damage logic set high enough for suitless Ingstorm. And by the way, speaking of suit, Look at that. We have a dark suit right there on Bruh's side. You know, I'm barely having time to breathe and everything's going by so fast. Okay. I don't know what happened today, but Bruh's in pretty good shape. He's got almost everything he needs for go mode. We have all of our beams, all of our visors. But no, I see one question asking about the out of bounds logic. It, technically speaking, it is out of logic for the way that Bruh did it, but it is in logic as we can reach the room. As a logically progression would have assumed that you went in through Torvis temp. God, I can't talk today. That's wonderful. Let's try this again. Logic would expect that you go through Torvis entrance, go through Torvis Lagoon with your dark beam, progress through the loop around, and then go past Forgotten Bridge towards Great Bridge. So yes, logically speaking, it is in play for Dark Suit, just not in the way that Bruh did it. But no, the Dark Suit is in logic. Alrighty, so it looks like Bruh's going to make his way over for this Amber translator. Now, we know this is Amber as we saw it on Caesar's side when he first made the peak in Torvis. He took the elevator originally. Now, as you can see on Bruh's side, he's attempted to perform what we call air underwater. By performing, and there's a 2-frame window of when Samus enters a body of water completely, and when she's out of it. When if you perform a morph, the game will save your state as if you were still on land. You'll still move sluggish through the water, but you'll have the ability to perform jump inputs. As you can see right now, the game considers Samus still technically on land, so we are able to perform a screw attack underwater if we don't bonk our head on the wall. This allows us to do multiple skips. The two biggest ones that we usually go for with air underwater. Number 1, Torvis Lagoon, which you just saw. And number 2 over in Hydro Dynamo Station. That allows us to get the 3 locks without having to go through the entire puzzle of Lower Torvis. Meanwhile, while we continue our progression along, I'd like to thank Op82 for doing an amazing job at tracking this fast-paced seed. You can catch up almost at every single weekly, doing his wonderful jobs tracking now. So, thank you kindly for all your hard work. Furthermore, I'd like to thank SpeedGaming for allowing us to use their restream channel. Without them, and the wonderful volunteers over on both sides of SpeedGaming and the Metroid Randomizer community, none of this would be possible. Meanwhile, on Mighty Caesar's side, you see the Amber Translator picked up, but using the gravity boost this time. Now, as stated earlier, gravity boost allows us to move freely in water and gives us extra height with a 3rd jump. And Bruh just now finding his gravity booster on Hive Chamber B, probably thinking, maybe I should have gone here first. But no, that's all right. We know how to do air underwater. We don't need no stinking backpack to help us along. We're professional speedrunners. Alrighty, so looks like Skeeter's going to continue through Great Bridge over towards Forgotten Bridge, continuing the loop, possibly heading to Dark Torvis. Granted, we don't know where power bombs are, so it wouldn't be very viable for Dark Torvis yet. Along with Super Missile, that would lock us the second we enter the portal. And Bruh, meanwhile, is going for Plane of Dark Worship. We can peek that item and get it since he has Dark Suit. Although Plane of Dark Worship I have a newfound hatred for, as if you have intermediate settings, the game could require you to go through Plane of Dark Worship with only 1 E-Tank and Screw Attack with no suits. which can be a real nightmare sometimes. All right, but we do see a second energy tank over here on Pod W, so we will grab that. Can't say no to more health. Alrighty. So there's two different ways to get up top here on Caesar's side. There's two different ways. Number one is the bomb space jump that he performed against the wall. Number two, over by the map station where you saw that amber gate. If we jump on an item or the map station wall, we'll have just enough height with a screw attack to just make it on top of the bridge itself. Meanwhile, Brez over in the Cursed Lake picking up another helpful item, while Caesar finally picks up his dark suit. So now that we have Cobalt, we can go back to that elevator that we saw earlier in today's run. If I had to take a wild guess, we've already cleared a majority of Upper Torvis. Lower Torvis we can't get to due to super missiles. So I would, if I were these runners, I'd probably make my way back to Temple Grounds, start doing some cleanup there, and then find your next elevator behind that Cobalt. As Torvis, there's not much else we can really accomplish here. All right. 20 minutes in, Bruz going for a second out of bounds. By space jumping on top of the Temple Assembly site overhang, we're able to perform multiple space jumps and go outside the game's logical bounds. As there are very steep pieces of geometry Samus is able to stand on, and because the developers never thought, oh hey, no one's going to try to stand up on the overhang, we'll just go ahead and screw attack out of bounds. Gotta thank game developers for that one. No, they do a good job. Especially when speedrunners keep trying to break them more each and every day. Caesar, on the other hand, has finally decided to make his way to Torvis Temple. He's going to pick up a spider ball, while Bra is under the temple grounds, so shooting his beam in rhythm to the music. Yeah, I gotta give compliments to the music. You know, the audio producers and the bands, they all did a wonderful job with the soundtrack. Yeah, it's catchy, it's repeatable, you can listen to it for hours, and it just makes the ambience of each area feel unique. You know, Temple Grounds, you got an upbeat atmosphere, you just landed on a new planet going through Torvis, you got a nice, smooth beat, nice underwater mixture. Sanctuary being a fortress, all the metallic sounds. With Aegon being a vast desert, wondering where you're going to finally end up. Oh man, the OST we can talk hours on. But no, you didn't come here for the music, you came here for the race. Alrighty, Bro's out of bounds again. If I had to take a wild guess, let's see, where are you going? Hall of Honor dead, he could probably take a peek in, but he doesn't have boost balls, so that wouldn't be worth it. Oh, I see exactly what he's doing. He's going to head back towards landing site and make his way over towards meeting grounds. Well, that's good because we do have two elevators on the meeting ground side we can check. But because we don't have Violet, logically we're not expected to come over this way. Caesar, meanwhile, is performing a bomb space jump to get on top of Great Forgotten Bridge. This way, he's going to jump over the wall and head straight for Torvis Grove. Now that he has the spider ball. Aegon Temple access. That's good. It gets us straight to Aegon. Now, if that translator gate is unlocked, Amber or Cobalt, we can get it. We can head straight for Aegon, but right now it is still out of logic. But if I had to make an assumption, it looks like Bru's gonna head straight for that Cobalt gate that we saw at the start of this race. and continue that way logically. As if you stray too far out of logic, there's a possibility you're going to get lost and you're going to end up shooting yourself in the foot. Meanwhile, on the left side of your screen, Mighty Caesar still attempted to perform some very precise bomb space jumps in order to jump over the boost ball locked gate here in Forgotten Bridge. Which, when I say that, he gets it on that next try, so congratulations, Caesar. As we're going to open up Torvus Grove and head straight for Meditation Vista. Now, Med Vista, there's 2 items here. One on Med Vista, one on Torvus Plaza, but we can't get Plaza as we don't have power bombs. Unless Med Vista has power bombs, which would be pretty flippin' sweet. Let's see what happens. But as we go along this out of logic progressional fun. How's everyone's day going? Is everyone having a good Saturday? Yeah, I hope you are. You know, we're in the middle of September, and unfortunately, Caesar did have to take a death. And you got to be careful when you're standing next to those phase-on canisters. One wrong move, and boom, you're dealing a ton of damage, especially at close range. And with the pirate standing right next to you, it's a recipe for disaster, Caesar. Unfortunately, the last save that we had was right at Torvus Lagoon when we entered. So unfortunately, that is going to set Caesar back a good 5 to 7 minutes. But have no fear, this race is still early. We have a lot of ways to make up time. This race is not won yet. Alrighty. Now, another addition to Patch 6.2, you might see this on Bruh's side. If you scan the Echo Lock, it'll tell you which order the puzzle is in. Now, since the puzzle is randomized now, you can scan it and you can figure out which order it is, as well as the 3 Echoes pedestals. So thankfully, it might be a puzzle, but it's easy enough where anyone can get to it. Now, it looks like Bruh's going to continue his way along over to Phazon Grounds. We're going to see what's hiding on the chasm. Meanwhile, Caesar's continuing his backtrack through Torvus to collect everything that he lost when dead. And that looks pretty important. We got a red key on Phazon Grounds. Please be something good. Is it a Torvus key? Nah, it's an Aegon key. Well, that's okay. We know where our Aegon elevator is. So if a Morbus is required, hey, we'll take it. Once again, for those of you who are just joining us, welcome to our Echoes Randomizer weekly race, odd settings. My name is Marion. With me is Op82, as always, on the wonderful tracking side. We got some good runners today. We have Caesar and Bruh here on Restream, with Cestrion, Nye, and Miser also running the race with us. We started over in Security Station next to Hive Chamber B with a straight line to Torvus, where Torvus had pretty much had a lot of majors for us. So we are going to continue through. Caesar unfortunately did take a death over in Torvus Plaza due to some Phazon canisters and a nasty pirate layout. So Bruh's going to continue to figure out where he wants to go. He just went through Torvus. He's got everything he needs to make his way over towards another elevator. But we don't have power bombs, though. Power bombs are some of the biggest things holding us back. That and super missile. And the reason I say that, because that's practically the last majors that we need outside of boost ball. Alright, so Bruh's going to continue his way into Torvus. Meanwhile, Caesar's going to head over for Dark Torvus, going to figure out what's on Dark Forgotten Bridge. Meanwhile, Bruz continuing over into Torvus. Now that we have Cobalt in hand, this puts Underground Tunnel in logic. We can finally take this gate and continue into Torvus Grove normally. Say it with me, folks. There's always progression on Underground Tunnel. All together now. Hey, we'll never say no just for some free energy. Alrighty, welcome back to Torvus Plaza following Torvus Grove. Torvus Grove is a pain in the butt check, but hey, if you're here, get it while you can. And Brad being smart, destroying the Phazon canisters before approaching them. Even though the pirates can destroy them as well. Alrighty, we can't get Torvus Plaza quite yet. We don't have our power bombs, but we can check Meditation Vista. What's hiding out here today? That looked like our light suit. Either that or my eyes are deceiving me. Nope, that is our suit. Okay, both suits over in Torvus. Look at that. We don't have to worry about taking Dark World damage anymore. All right, and with light suit in hand, looks like Brad's going to continue his way over to possibly heading for Dark Torvus Arena. Could be trying to go find some Boost Guardian. Meanwhile, on your left, Caesar's attempting to do a bomb space jump on a tight piece of geometry in order to skip a wall here that's locked behind Boost Ball. And Cobalt, as you need to go through Underground Tunnel to reach the opposite side. Looks like Bruh's trying to plan out his next move. He's wondering where he wants to go with what he has. But with Torvus hiding everything and Light Suit in hand, we're still missing Violet in order to go get our Sky Temple key hints. So once we find Violet Translator, that opens up a lot of potential. Alrighty, yeah, it looks like we were correct. Brad's heading straight for Dark Torvus Arena. It's going to see what's on Boost Guardian. Now, keep in mind, we do not have Boost Ball and we do not have Cannonball. So that's what that safety save was for. If these two checks don't have Boost Ball, we need to save and quit. Oh, hold on a second. What's up there? Is that our Boost Ball? Yes, that is our Boost Ball. Well, we don't need to worry about that safety save. We can just straight up leave now. Alrighty. You know what? You gotta... Second I gotta stop saying things. Oh, everyone say hi to Boost Guardian, the most annoying boss of Echoes, and I will stand by that fact until the day the game dies. With Power Bomb Guardian being a close second. Alright, good thing is Caesar is still alive, making his second pass onto Torvus Plaza. So, Caesar is all caught up. He's continuing along, which is great. Meanwhile, Brez over in Dark Torvus Arena fighting Boost Guardian. Now, there's two ways to quick kill Boost Guardian. We don't have any of them. Quick kill method number 1, Power Bomb. We don't have them. Quick kill method number 2, double damage plus Sunburst. Pretty much burns them alive. But we don't have double damage and we don't have Sunburst. Caesar, meanwhile, is going for his light suit. Trying to grab that off Med Vista. Just going to land on the platform, Caesar. You can do it. Don't fall off. Good work. All right. Is Cannonball effective against Boost Guardian? Cannonball damage itself is not effective against Boost Guardian that I know. I've yet to test that theory. But it is effective if you don't have any suits. You won't take damage from the Poison Atmosphere of Dark Aether. So Cannonball would be useful, yes. But if you have the suits, if you have the energy, don't throw away your Cannonball by coming all the way over here to Boost Guardian. Although we did all that for a missile tank, so I can only imagine how they feel after that. But no, I could be wrong, but I don't believe that Cannonball's damage frames affect Boost Guardian. There's very few bosses and enemies that actually take damage from it. Alrighty. So with that being said, we have the biggest thing holding us back from progressing is trying to find our dang Violet Translator. Violet Translator allows us to get into Hollow Eyes, grab the elevator off a meeting ground, and grab the elevator off of Hollow Eyes itself. Granted, if meeting grounds and Hollow Eyes both have translators that we can open. As granted, we don't know where we don't have Emerald yet either, but we haven't found a use for Emerald. Let's see, Boost Guard, more like Missile Expansion Guardian. Well, Shine Sparking Mart, you want to talk about that? Head over to Hive Chamber A and go fight Dark Missile Trooper. Then you'd get your wish on that one. As I believe he does have an actual missile expansion. But I will say, my first time running Echoes, I had no idea that he was there. That was... I completely skipped him the first few times playing. He is so easy to miss, as you rarely ever have to go back to Hive Chamber A. Alright, meanwhile, Caesar on your left side of the screen is going for Dark Torv's Arena. He's going to find his boost ball and be all happy, saying, oh my, I can actually get out of this room. And on your right, you'll see that Bra is going through Torvus Grove. Torvus Plaza. Torvus Plaza Access. The Plaza Access itself ain't bad, but Torvus Plaza itself is a nightmare. If you don't know the strat to get around it. As by boosting at a specific angle and landing on some bridges, it's possible to completely skip the spider puzzle. And what's up there? Super Missile. Okay, it was completely worth it to get over here. Super Missile on Torvus Plaza Access. Right, meanwhile, what's on Torvus Plaza itself? As we can land on the first spider track, hit a corner, and peek the item. But now that we know where super missiles are, that opens up the entirety of Lower Torvus. Yep, I couldn't get a close look at it. But looks like we have a missile expansion up here. So, hey, good job. Always good to have more missiles. Especially since we don't have unlimited yet. Alrighty, super missiles in hand. If I were the runner, I'd make a beeline for Hydro Dynamo Station, go straight for Lower Torvus, and see what's hiding underneath there. There's a lot of checks that are now open. Or head for Dark Forgotten Bridge and go through the super missile door. That allows us to get into not Poison Bog. Now let's get over to Dark Torvus Temple. We can get the super missile lock behind it. How's that? Not the super missile. See. Either way, Dark Torvus upper or Light Torvus under would be pretty good ways to go. But since you're right here, you just got done with Boost Guardian. Yeah, why not come all the way over here? Get these checks out of the way. And sadly, we still don't have our Emerald hints, so we don't know what Sheikah's holding. As we've been nowhere but Temple and Torvus. But the good thing is we don't have any keys, so we'll be okay for now. What's behind door number 1? It's another E-Tank. Alrighty, that makes 5. 5 E-Tanks for Bruh, and 2 for Caesar. Caesar having a little bit of trouble with Boost Guardian. Now, see, this is why I say if you got the suit, you don't need Cannonball. As you probably would have died right now, having 2 E-Tanks and taking this long. Yeah, Boost Guardian can be a real pain in the butt to fight. All that for a missile. Or on the other hand, making his way over towards Poison Bog. We do have light suits, so we can get the in-cache here, as well as the Seeker Lock right next door to it. And we have some dark ammo already. Hey, we'll never say no to some ammo. But Poison Bog we did get the hint for, and hiding inside the cache we will find that it is a beautiful missile expansion. Now, for those of you who might be wondering, where's Go Mode? Right now, Go Mode is trying to get our key hints. Currently, we have 0 Sky Temple keys, and we have no way outside of Out of Bounds to go get our key hints. The only thing blocking us from getting it right now, since Bruh has supers in his arsenal, would be Violet Translator. There's a Violet Gate blocking our access to landing site. And we could go Out of Bounds, do it out of logic, get our hints early, which would be nice. But then you have to go Out of Bounds to get back, unless you save at landing site, and then save and quit once you reach the Sky Temple Gateway. I mean, both options are acceptable. It's just a matter of what you're up for. Okay, in the meantime, Caesar's making his way through Light Torvus again. Now that he's got his boost ball in hand, we go straight for Torvus Plaza access, find those super missiles, and hopefully continue towards finding Violet. Or on the other hand, doing what I said on the second option, is going to go Out of Bounds to get into landing site. At the current moment, no, they did not fight Dark Missile Trooper, so Hive Chamber A is still in its original state for when you first arrive. In order for Dark Missile Trooper to spawn, Bomb Guardian has to be defeated over an Aegon Temple. And that would be DMT's trigger. When Bomb Guardian is defeated, DMT spawns in Hive Chamber A. Alright, meanwhile, we see that Bruh's going Out of Bounds, continuing. Now, I'm not good at Out of Bounds, let alone explaining it, so we'll try our best here. The best way that I can describe it is that every room in Echoes is in its own box. Outside of that box is what we call the Aether. Now, when you step into the Aether, there's a few frame windows that you're able to input a jump. And moving back into the box retains your height. So by constantly moving outside and inside the box with frame perfect jumps, you're able to slowly increase your height and then progress through various room triggers. Now, jumping in the Aether is dangerous. If you happen to fall down, it's a very slow process to get back up. Granted, you do move slowly wall in the Aether box, but it is slow and it is not worth it. Just like for anyone who plays Twilight Princess and tries to go for low percent. Not waiting 20 hours on a rupee slide. But that's a topic for a whole nother game. So we see that Hall of Honor Dead has nothing important. Caesar, in the meanwhile, is going for Torvus Plaza. We're going to jump on top of the little bridge and go grab the item without doing this stupid puzzle. As we reach the 45-minute mark, for those of you who might be joining us might just be joining us, my name is Marion, and I'll be your commentator for this wonderful jet seat of a race. With us today is the amazing Op82 on tracking, and we have Mighty Caesar and Brug going at it with this Torvus locked race. Alright, so as you saw, bro used out of bounds in security station to get into landing site so that he could break into Sky Temple. This is all out of logic. Yes, Gerbil, I did say jet seed. If you watch the first bit of it, we found practically every major in about 40 minutes. Outside of our grapple beam, or Gerbil beam in your case, our main power bombs, and 2 translators. So, right now, in a way, it is going pretty fast. So we have Bra making his way over for his Sky Temple hints. Again, this is all out of logic because we're stuck behind Violet. But we can see where our keys are today. We are looking at key number 1. Main reactor. Alright, that's a freebie. Key number 2, Torvus Energy Controller. We need supers for that, which we found. Key number 3, main research and Sank. That's gonna be a fun one to try to get to. It's out of the way. Unless we get the elevator that's practically right next to main research. Key number 4, Sand Cache. Need to find what translator is hiding Sand Cache. Number 5, Feeding Pit and Dark Aegon. 6, Sentinel's Path and Sanctuary. Key number 7. So right now, key number 7. Ventilation area A, key number 8. Mining station access, and key number 9. Aegon energy controller. All right, so we need to go to Inghive is pretty much deleted, and Aegon has all of our keys. Curse you, Aegon Waste. But we do have our Aegon elevator over off of Meeting Grounds. Alrighty, well, now that we have our key hints in play, how is Bra going to get back? Is he A, going to save warp? B, taking a death warp? Or C, is he going to reset the console as we just lost our video? Nope, it was, if you answered C, he reset, congratulations, you win. So technically, I'm taking this as a save warp. Alrighty. Alrighty. As we continue along, we finally know where our Sky Temple keys are, and we realize that the vast wastes of Aegon contain 90% of them. Meanwhile, Caesar has decided to go out of bounds. What a wonderful sight to go out of bounds in Torvus of all places. Oh, pardon that silence. We're just going to take a drink. Now remember, everyone, stay hydrated. We're nearly an hour in. Always remember to stay hydrated. Alrighty, and we're back. Alrighty, Caesar, what are you thinking, my friend? Did you go take a quick break as well? Alrighty, as we await Caesar to return from his quick break, always good to take a break, even in a race. You know, hydration and safety. Hydration and yourself come first. We still have no idea where main power bombs are, and unfortunately that does lock one of our keys. So if we can find our main power bombs, that'd be great. If I had... Yeah, alright. Alright, Chad, it's time to play your favorite game. Make your bet! We're trying to find two items right now. We're trying to find our Violet Translator, and we're trying to find our main power bombs. Where could they be? Well, you got about 200 locations that they can be right now. So go out, have fun, and whoever guesses correctly gets a prize. What is that prize exactly? Well, we'll figure that out when the time comes. Alrighty, Caesar is already going to be one step ahead. He's about to find his first Sky Temple key on Torvus Energy. And Bruh's right behind him. Looks like our runner's about to high five here. So we're going to find Sky Temple key number 1. Technically number 2, but we're going with number 1. Now, we already knew about this as Bruh got his key hints out of order. Out of logic. God, I can't think today. But to recap, we do have some key hints for you. Giant Sparking Mart and Shed has been kind enough to post them. We do have Main Reactor, Torvus Energy, which we just collected. Main Research, Sand Cache, Feeding Pit, Sentinel's Path, Mining Station Access, Aegon Energy Controller, and Ventilation Area A. Out of order could be out of order. That's absolutely correct. Just like the ice cream at any McDonald's that you try to go to here in the U.S. Good luck on getting that dang machine to work. Oh, that was a bad joke. I'm going to stand by it, though. Alrighty, so Bruh's probably going to continue his way through Torvus, heading for another elevator. Caesar, meanwhile, is having a bit of trouble with these seeker locks. Come on, Caesar, you can do this, my friend. You can do this. Or to your left. Alrighty, he got it. Now we're going to transport to Sanctuary Quadrant. Alrighty. Meanwhile, Bruh's continuing through Lower Torvus. We're going to see if our main PBs hide under there. Now, since we do have Gravity Booster, we don't need to worry about air underwater anymore, which is nice. Meanwhile, Caesar's going to return to Temple Grounds to the Sanctuary side, and we're going to see what is going on, as we appear to be having technical difficulties. Oh, there we go, just a little bit of lag. Alrighty, and training chamber behind the statue, we see another item. What is that statue hiding? He's just hiding a missile expansion. Well, that's not too terribly important, but hey, we'll never say no to free ammo. If I had to take a guess right now, Caesar probably making a beeline over 4. He's either going to try to go out of bounds, grab his key hints as well, or hopefully he goes towards the Aegon elevator. Well, looks like lower Torvis was the correct play. We've got our main power bombs. Bruh, looks like Bruh is in go mode. He has everything he needs for every single key hint. Now, the only exception would be Sand Cache. If Sand Cache is locked behind Violet or Emerald, then we need to find that. If it's Amber or Cobalt, it's full-on go mode. And looks like Lower Torvis was an amazing play for Bra, as he's got an elevator straight to Aegon entrance. This is going pretty fantastic for him. Caesar, meanwhile, is going back towards a cursed lake. We're going to pick up that Cobalt visor. Beautiful, beautiful Cobalt. Well, what is on Mining Plaza? Is that anything useful? No, it appears to be just a missile expansion. Alright, so we know that Amorbus is half dead. But he's realizing, oh wait, I have Amber. There's a hint here. I can get it. The Dark Beam can be found in Temple Grounds. Well, game, you know what? Your hint is great, except for one problem. Dark Beam is one of the first things we picked up. So, thank you for that hint, but you're a little late. And Bruh is picking up Sky Temple key number 8. Technically, number 2. As we do have it here on Mining Station Access. And it looks like Sand Cache. Oh, looks like, is that Cobalt? Yeah, it looks like Cobalt, but I'm a little colorblind. That is Cobalt. Alrighty. Yeah, that's go mode for Bruh. He's just gotta go get his key hints and he's good to go. I keep saying hints. He needs to go grab the keys. We already have the hints. It has been a long, long hour, to say the least. Alrighty, another key hiding on Aegon Energy Controller. This gives us another one. But first and foremost, here is Bomb Guardian. And if you didn't blink, Bomb Guardian is now gone. Yeah, there's about 2 quick kill methods minimum with Bomb Guardian. Quick kill number 1, which you just saw, was using a power bomb. And quick kill method number 2 is a charged dark beam. It's possible to stun Bomb Guardian and keep stun locking him until he eventually dies. Have another Sky Temple key, bruh. You've earned it. And you have Amber. Do not forget your hint. Alright, we are having a little bit of restream difficulty with Caesar. Bear with us just a moment. So we apologize in advance for all that. But if you'll stand by, we'll get a technician to work on it. Alright, I don't think our technician is back. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're good. Just having some restream lag. And again, we have our third Sky Temple key here in Aegon. Ventilation area A. Only locked behind our bombs and light beam. Oh, I don't know why we're having so much restream issues today. That's not good. Well, we apologize in advance for all the difficulty today, but please bear with us. We do have a technician on standby for just this case. So, again, we apologize. Just bear with us for a few minutes. Okay, we don't appear to have that working right now. I believe that's frozen. Nope, can't do it that way. Alrighty, there we go. We're good to go. Oh, dang it, the second I said it. Second I said that. Well, he is over on Doomed Entry. We're going to try to get another volunteer on this. Okay, great. Now both of them are frozen. Okay, what is going on here today? All right, hopefully with that'd be the last fix that we need. Alrighty, and welcome back. So, as when we last left off, Mighty Caesar is continuing through Lower Torvis, going for hydro chamber storage, where we have eventually frozen again as we try to load Alpha Blog. And Bruz continuing over through ventilation area A. He's going to check the elevator here behind the power bomb door. And we're going to find out that this elevator leads to a lovely place, which he's not happy with. All right, we appear to be having major technical difficulties with this restream today. We sincerely apologize in advance. Fortunately, we were unable to see what was on Hydro Chamber storage and Alpha Blog, but we do realize that Caesar has gone through the spider track and headed for Power Bomb Guardian. So he's right here. We're going to figure out what's hiding behind PB. Please note in the future we will have tech set up a little bit better. It's not SpeedGaming's fault. It is we're just a little understaffed today here at the Randomania community. But this is not SpeedGaming's fault. They do a wonderful job each and every day. Yeah, we're just a little behind. But hey, that doesn't mean we still can't have a good time. Now, with that being said, Caesar's just defeated Powerbomb Guardian. We're going to figure out what he's hiding while Bruh continues through Temple grounds, possibly heading for Sanctuary to grab the remainder of his Sky Temple keys. And we see that PB Guardian has some dark ammo. Not the best, but hey, we'll take it. And I think this is the fourth time in today's race Bruh's gone out of bounds. No, that's a fair point, Shine Sparking. We have no idea what DMT has, as we haven't fought him yet. But now that Bomb Guardian's defeated with Bruh's side, we do have the ability to go check. So it could be anything. But judging how Alpha Blog is still alive, we can come to the relatively good conclusion that his item was not useful. But in order to leave this room, we will need to perform a bomb space jump in order to get onto a higher ledge, and then gravity boost out. Thankfully, Caesar's well versed in bomb space jumps. Not a problem for him and a runner of his caliber. But now we're able to use the dark beam portal for under and pick up the screw attack wall and the item hiding right in front of us. Now, please excuse us as we have SpeedGaming technician look into this restream issue. Well, as we await SpeedGaming to get back to us on the technical aspect, we're going to keep having fun here on the Echo's Randomizer. Looks like Bruh's continuing over through Hall of Eyes, moving through Wind Chamber Gateway and into Grand Wind Chamber. We're going to see what GW has. And with that being said, yes, it is possible that Grapple Guardian can have Violet, at least in today's settings, as Violet has not been needed in order to get to Lower Torvus. If you'll excuse us, we do have word back from SpeedGaming. They are actively looking into this restream issue. From if I had to take a wild guess, Grand Wind Chamber did not have anything important. It doesn't look like Bro's acquired anything new based on how fast he's moved through the area and how he's already out of bounds. With this out of bounds movement, if I had to take a guess, he's probably going for Fortress Transport Access. He's going to see what's on that light beam door, which I'm absolutely correct, as he's bypassing the Emerald Gate, which we do not have emeralds at the current moment. So because of that, we're going to have to try to force our way back inbounds here, which thankfully it's not difficult. It's just a painfully precise area. And as I said, moving through either, it could be a bit of a challenge. All right, we've regained our stream from Mighty Caesar's side. It appears he's still in Lower Torbus. Alrighty. Like, it's shiny. That's a missile expansion. All right, we'll grab the missile. Use the light pillar to get back in bounds, and we're gonna keep on rolling. And Caesar has thankfully found his main power bombs. Took him a little bit of time, but we finally found it on Transit Tunnel. Oh gosh, I want to think that's south. Either south or it's west. Yeah, I think this one's... No, I think this one is south. Meanwhile... Now I can't use that anymore. I've exhausted that. Bros making his first entrance into Sanctuary Fortress. Keep in mind we do have 2 Sky Temple keys hiding here. And with our Cobalt, we can grab hints if we want them, but we already know where all the important stuff is. We don't need to do that. Alrighty, so Caesar's probably going to continue around doing some Lower Torvus cleanup, and hopefully he uses the elevator behind Training Chamber to go to Aegon, and he can hopefully make up some time getting a majority of his keys. Alrighty, and we're back. It appears that we have some issues with Twitch today. We're having some invalid playlists, getting some feedback errors, but thankfully we do have SpeedGaming administration claiming that it's fixed, and their word is usually good to go by. So if we're lucky, the rest of the seed should be a-okay. So with that, I'd like to give a quick little shout out to Sigma 6 for his hard work on that. Fast and efficient as always. So thank you to SpeedGaming for keeping our show lively. And looks like main gyro chamber's hint said Quadraxis had a missile expansion, which is good, but again, we don't know what's on Umos 2, so it could still be required if Umos is hiding anything. But we're going to continue through Sanctuary. We're going to grab our key hints over on main research, and then Sentinel's Path. And the second I say something, we lose Bra again. We're just having some Twitch issues today. All right, looks like Bruh's heading straight. If I had to take a guess, he's probably going to go through Cat West, grab main research. Or he's going to make the detour left here, grab Sentinel's Path first, which would be great. All right, meanwhile, Caesar has finally entered Aegon Waste for the first time. We're going to grab a quick little jump here. And as I say jump, game says freeze. So as we sit here, frozen in limbo, how's everyone doing today? Is everyone having a good weekend? I know I am. It's much about it. But I'm going to try to commentate this as best we can, since we can't see what's going on. With where Caesar's at right now, he's probably going to take a peek on what's on Transit Station. He's going to see what's there, make the loop around back, grab mining station access for the STK, continue on to Sand Cache since he can open it now, and then make the standard loop through Aegon, collecting keys on law as he goes. With that being said, on Bruh's side, we're going to continue along through Sentinel's Path as its echoes locked. Grab the STK hiding on Sentinel's Path, and then we're going to continue into Cat West for main research. As main research does have another STK, which is spider locked with bombs. But if you just hold for just a split second, we are working on some technical difficulties on the restream side. We do have technicians working on it. Just bear with us another few minutes. Again, we greatly apologize, but hey, we're all here for the fun. Sometimes issues happen, but in the end, we all have a great time. It's all about staying positive. Alrighty, we returned. We returned with one side of things. Looks like he's did the loop. Now, if I'm correct and he did the loop, that means he has all 9 Sky Temple keys and Bruh's ready to head straight for game over. Although we will need to do another out of bounds to get over to landing site, as we're still locked behind Violet. Alrighty. Well, we're almost doing okay. Alrighty, and we're back. Unfortunately, we're still working on... Oh, there we go. Second I say that. So as predicted, Mighty Caesar is continuing continuing through Aegon Waste, picking up some Sky Temple keys. We are going to take a peek at Mine Shaft. We realize that's bright blue ETM. We do not need that. That item is effectively useless. Burr on the other side is going to be making his way from landing site over to meeting grounds. Going to go through Sky Temple and head straight for Sky Temple Gateway. As with all keys in hand, he is in go mode. He's ready to end this. As we come to a close here today, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. And for those of you who are staying with us to the very end, even through these technical difficulties, we really appreciate your constant support. I know we're not much, and we are a small-time community with echoes, but hey, it's all about having fun coming together. Even though Echoes doesn't get as much love as the other two in the series. But hey, it'll still be around as long as it can be. Though it was an interesting seed. We've had a very quick generation, it seems. Inghive was completely deleted. Sanctuary we only needed for two rooms, which are on pretty much back to back to each other. So a majority of Sank is gone. And Aegon and Torvis had everything that we needed. Because I wouldn't mind playing this race myself one day. Alright, and with that, looks like we do have a confirmation that Bruh is completed with a rough time of 1:22. No. Nope, we have an exact time of 1 hour 20 minutes. Caesar has indeed forfeited. And we are having some concerns here. Oh, it appears that we have two racers that finish at the same time. Nye has finished in first place with a time of 1 hour 28 milliseconds, with Bruh finishing at 1:20:31. 2 milliseconds behind each other, the two practically tied. And on that, Caesar, welcome, my friend. How are you today?
Doing all right.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, as you can clearly see, we're having some technical difficulties with the restream. But other than that, how did the race go on your side? How was everything?
All right. Got a bit lost with the routing, so full cleared a lot of stuff, which is probably one of the big things that put me this far behind.
Well, along with that, you did take an early death over in Torvis Plaza with
Yeah, but that only lost me about 2 minutes.
I know you weren't that far behind, but still, a death is a death. Set you back a little bit.
I can't believe I finished that close to Nye.
You were 2 milliseconds off of each other according to the race time.
Like 2 seconds.
Well, 2 seconds, not milliseconds.
Well, seconds.
But the thing, I looked at the VOD. I actually stopped my timer later than Nye did, so I don't know.
Well, either way, well, it's a pleasure having you both here with us today. So, as I asked Caesar, how do you feel it went, bruh? How was everything?
I feel like that went pretty well, but I should not have had to do that much wall crawling.
Well, it's
like, especially at the end there, after I picked up the STK in Feeding Pit,
right.
I was just like, how can I go as long as possible without picking up another STK?
Well, I mean, you're fairly accurate.
I took the most inefficient route possible. I was really confused where the Sank entrance elevator was going to be, because I misread, I guess, the elevator, and I thought that the Torvis Quadrant elevator, I thought that it said Aegon portal access, and so I was like, that means temple access has to be Sank entrance, but it was flipped around. And so after I checked the elevator, I was really confused, and I was just like, I'll go for one of the elevators in Temple Grounds because I wasn't sure where Sank Entrance was going to be. And then while I was in Temple Grounds, I realized.
Yeah, it was worth a shot. But you went out of bounds multiple times. But it did put you ahead with most of your keys being an A-gun.
Mm-hmm. Where was Emerald at?
Emerald, unfortunately, we can find that out. I gotta look that back. But your Violet, it looked like Violet was hiding on what, reactor core? That's what
Reactor core was an STK, right? Reactor core.
Reactor core. Yeah,
not main reactor.
Oh. No, I guess I gotta run back and figure out where Emerald was, but Violet seemed to hold you up the most, trying to even get to landing site.
Yeah, I wall crawled past it 4 times.
Yeah.
The first time it was so dumb.
Didn't help me.
Right after I got Dark Suit, I was gonna go get hints, so I wall crawled past the Violet gate, only to remember that I don't have boost and I can't even get to the portal.
Yeah, speaking of boost, how'd you feel finding it was right next to Boost Guardian?
I got really confused after seeing Light Suit, and I was like, something's gotta be Ing Reliquary, or we have like vanilla boost. And yeah.
Well, thankfully it wasn't Ing Reliquary. That would have been bad. Well, if there's anything you two would have done differently, given what you know now.
Forage A for Emerald. Okay.
Skipped trying to find Violet and just wall crawled past it.
So that's what you're doing. You were trying to find Violet to do anything else.
Yeah, because I could have gone to hints like 15 minutes before the race ended, something like that. And I'm like, well, Violet's probably fairly easily accessible, so I can go grab that. And nope.
Yeah, it was interesting how Violet held up everything, seeing how Torvis had 90% of all your majors.
Yep.
You're finding beam after suit after bomb and everything.
Oh, I also wouldn't have done any of the boss fights that I did.
Right. Yeah, you went straight for Power Bomb Guardian, which was a little curious, but you went through your lower Torvis loop.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Well, chat, we don't have any questions from chat considering anything. Although they do want to know how you feel about your suit locations.
They were kind of funny.
I was really glad to see that suit early on. Because, especially in Odd Weekly, and a lot of the times you're trying to go through like Ing Hive or Dark Torvis without any suits, low E tanks. So, really good to see that suit super early.
That could be a nightmare trying to figure out. But no, I mean, I guess the main question is, did you have a good time? You both enjoyed it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cannot believe that we finished that close together.
Yeah, I mean, that's what matters. As long as you have fun, that's what brings us here in the community together. But with that being said, is there anything else you two would like to add before we hand this over to our next event?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Fun race. Really freaking fast for an Echo Seed.
Under an hour and a half. That's one of Captain's new top records.
Yeah,
especially Odd Weekly too.
Finishing in that under an hour and a half.
Right. Well, given what you know, you probably add another 10 to 15 on your time Caesar. You would have came in right under that hour and a half mark. You would just flew right through Aegon and the 2 and sank, and boom, you're done. Alrighty, but with that being said, many thanks. We appreciated watching you both go at it. It was a close race from start to finish. Once again, Op82 for his wonderful tracking, the SpeedGaming community for helping us host this event every week. the Metroid community for all coming together and making this whole thing possible. And other than that, I'd like to thank all of you for watching and joining us here today. You know, we all greatly appreciate the support, and hopefully in the future we keep on growing our community larger and larger. But before we sign off, we do have one note. SpeedGaming Live is back. In-person tournaments will be happening November 9th to the 12th in Herndon, Virginia. Online tournaments will happen throughout the week. Oh, correction, through the summer and the fall, and are free to join. Prizes for winners and tournaments are chosen by the community. Get your community involved for your next SG Live. Information can be found at sglive.speedgaming.org. Runner information will be posted below. And other than that, if you two have nothing else to add, guess we'll see you in the next mission.